welcome to the Witch's Cauldron. My name's Paula. Today's video is on ways to raise energy. Raising energy is the key to having your spells be successful, okay? And there are two types of energy that you can use to power your spells and your rituals. One is personal power. Now, unless you want to feel like a car battery that has been drained down and doesn't even have enough juice left in it to click once when you turn the key, don't use your personal energy, because you run the risk of doing that if you continually drain your own personal batteries to make your magic work, okay? The other is using the energy around you, okay, to power your spells and power that intent. Now, when you include things in your spell work, a lot of my most successful spells, I don't need any bells and whistles, okay? I just harness the energy around me, send it out, boom, and it doesn't involve a bunch of, gemstones or herbs or anything like that other than an incantation and raising energy, okay? And that's what the kind of the way that I've been trying to get across to you guys is our spells are kind of like prayers with props, but you don't necessarily need the props to make your spells work. It's all about focusing intent and raising the energy and then releasing that energy out in the universe to effect a change that you want to see happen, okay? But if you do use things like gemstones and herbs and essential oils and things like that, you are using energy from those objects, okay? Because they're natural objects. So those help feed the energy and enhance what you gather from the universe, focus the intent, and then release it. Now, a lot of people use the universal energy by envisioning what is called the cone of power. Now, I sometimes want to smirk when I hear this, but then I'm like, no, if that's the way somebody likes doing it, fine. It just never appealed to me, okay? But the cone of power is, in essence, power where the base is your circle that you have cast, or the circle that goes around the members of the coven, and then goes up into a cone until it meets at the point, and everybody focuses on one point above the circle, and then sends the energy up into the universe from that one communal point, okay? And, that's where, like the witch's hat, the shape of the hat comes from the cone of power, etc., etc. So, I say I like to smirk, and that's really kind of callous and crappy of me. But, even though I'm over 50, I can act like a juvenile every once in a while, too. I have my faults, and I admit it. A lot of people have an extremely hard time, especially when you start out, visualizing things, okay? Or there is a condition where people cannot actively visualize things, or say lucid dreaming through, imagination, and things of that nature. And it's called aphantasia. And I was first made aware of this condition because of a comment on one of my meditation videos. And I had to stop and realize, okay, this is not the most effective way for me to teach people how to raise energy, because I will link that meditation on raising energy down below in the description box, and like I normally do. Okay? So I am so glad that someone mentioned this to me so that I could then kind of tweak my teaching methods to include things that have actual visual or audio cues to help you raise energy. Okay? And I may have mentioned some of these methods in passing in other videos, but this is going to be specifically just on raising methods to raise energy. Okay? The first one is chanting. A lot of people do, start out with Om, Om. And then as you chant, the chant gets louder and longer and louder and longer. Okay, and then when you feel like your voice has gotten as loud and the chant goes as long as you want it to, you then literally release it. You can usually do it with a ha to release it and send it out. Okay? I like coming up with a chant. My tradition has a chant that we use when we are raising energy. Okay? We are the one. We are the power. This is our time. This is our hour. You can modify that to just say, I am the one. I am the power. This is my time. This is my hour. Okay? You can also use a God chant, a goddess chant. You can use an elemental chant. I have those videos on all of those, and I will link them in the description box. Okay? But what you do with a chant, as I said, is start out relatively low. I am the one. I am the power. This is my time. This is my hour. Voice gets louder. I am the one. I am the power. This is my time. This is my hour. Louder still. I am the one. I am the power. This is my time. This is my hour. Louder still. I am the one. I am the power. This is my time. This is my hour. Louder still. I am the one. I am the power. This is my time. This is my hour. And then when I release, I go, ha! And release that out to the universe. It does help to give yourself a visual cue. In the meditation that I have on raising energy, I give you the visual cue of a ball of light. Okay? And I like to do this as a visual cue, especially with folks who are starting out. Okay? Think of, you've got a teeny, teeny little space here in between your hands. And in that space, there resides a little ball. Okay? You can start pulling in energy from the universe, and you start feeling a warmth and almost like a little tingling, like static in between your fingers. And so then you cup your hands and then do it more. And you almost give it like a pulsing, like going with a heartbeat, until that ball grows bigger and bigger. And then you push it out. One thing you have to remember to do is ground yourself. So stomp your foot. And that will help ground everything out after you send energy out. You can also, you can sing. You can make up your own little song. You can do whatever you want. If I move my head, you can see on the wall back here. Let me think. There it is. That's a drum. You can raise energy by drumming. That's a Celtic bodhran. You know, some people have hand drums. You know, whatever kind of drum you bond with, awesome. Okay. There is also something called a sistrum, and I'll pop a picture of one up right there. I can never remember which side that I pop the pictures up on. First world problems of YouTubers. What can I say? And a sistrum, you can make one at home. You can use a rattle, any kind of musical instrument. If you have, like, you know, a little triangle or some kind of chime, you can do that. Okay? There are any number of ways that you can use your body to raise energy. One is dance. Okay? And it doesn't matter what you look like. It's just you and the divine. The divine's not going to laugh at you. You may laugh at yourself if you see yourself dancing in the mirror, but the divine doesn't care, okay? Be as exuberant and big. You start out with small movements. You get bigger movements. You start dancing faster. And then when you're done, when you release the energy, fall to the ground and ground any excess energy, okay? And one final way to raise energy is through the act of sex, okay? Now, this can be you pleasuring yourself, and the release is an actual orgasm, or you have sex with a partner, and it's called sex magic, okay? And that's used for, you know, many different intents and ways. You know, a lot of couples use sex magic in fertility, like if they're experiencing infertility. That's another way to raise energy for that intent of a kind of spell, okay? So there you have it. There are some ways where you can use physical movement or audible sound instead of visualization to raise energy, okay? You can use a combination of just one or any of them, okay? You can combine dancing and drumming. You can dance with a sistrum or a rattle or whatever, and you can chant and dance at the same time. You can chant and drum at the same time. It's only limited by you and your creativity. Okay? So I hope that helped, guys. I don't have any handouts for this. You know, this is a visual learning kind of experience. And, you know, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. It does help me in the YouTube algorithm. And be sure to subscribe before you leave and turn on the notification bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. So with that, my friends, merry we did meet, merry we will part until we merry meet again. Be well and walk in love and light, everybody. Bye.